the person that you're talking to on a regular basis, which would much rather hear that they are partnering with you rather than they're just another one of your clients. What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to break down how I was able to close over $3 million just by doing follow-up in my entire follow-up masterclass in this doc. And if you stay till the end, I'll tell you where you can find this Google Doc and you can take it apart, send it to your sales team, use it yourself, and do whatever you need to do with it. Guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Omer Bloch. I am the co-founder of Remote Latinos. Over the last 3 years, we have helped hundreds of businesses scale through placing highly qualified and trained remote team members. We've hired almost 1,000 people. So hopefully, if you're watching this and you want to hire someone, you come our way and we can help you out. So let's talk about the follow-up training. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference between partnering and clientele. The person that you're talking to on a regular basis, which would much rather hear that they are partnering with you rather than they're just another one of your clients, all right? Because they hear that all the time. You know, one thing they don't hear is partnership. And although, are they getting equity in your business? Are you getting equity in theirs? Probably not, maybe in the future, but they much rather prefer hearing the word partner than client. That's something that I've tested and I promise you it's for sure going to work. So here are things to do after what I call the perfect sales call. What I mean by this is that on the sales call, you talk to someone who is qualified, has the money, has the need, and is exactly, when you write out what your avatar is like, this is exactly what they are. But for some reason, you weren't able to close them, right? It could be many objections. It could be they have a partner they have to run this by. It could be they have to move finances around. It could be whatever the heck. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of different reasons why people don't partner with you. And whatever that case is, you were not able to close the call. You were not able to close this person on this call. So now you have to move it to the follow-up, right? So I want to walk you step by step of what to do here so it makes much more sense. So the first thing you want to do, just like I'm doing here, is you want to share your screen and you want to invite them to the next call. And I like to call this call touch base or following up with XYZ. So what that means is instead of, let's say I took a call here with Keen, right? As you guys can see, there's not a lot of information, but let's say that there's a lot of information, right? All his notes on here, his email number. Instead of creating a brand new event, what I'll do is, once I already have all this information here, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to put Keen, you can say follow up. And sometimes I say here, like, chatted, May 10th, right? And now you're going to send it. And when you send it, they're going to get this invitation. Instead of sending a brand new event that only sends them one email, they're now going to get all the automations that come with the original booking, which is pretty cool. So much easier to do that. And the next thing you want to do is on the screen, you want to ask them when tomorrow. Always ask if they can do it later today or tomorrow. Can they talk? So when tomorrow should we touch base? Assume that they're going to be able to talk with you tomorrow. When tomorrow do you have time to go over this and see if you're ready to rock and roll? Yeah, I mean, tomorrow I have time at 1 p.m. CST. Great. And then boom, you're going to move them here. You're going to press send. You're going to have a pop-up that says, do you want to send them the invitation? You say yes. Perfect. Awesome. So now you sent that. So that's the very first thing that you want to do. Okay. The next thing is you want to make sure that they accept the invitation. So be like, hey, Keen, is it okay if you're able to if go to your email real quick and go ahead and accept the invitation just to make sure that pops up on your calendar? Awesome. Perfect. I see the little check. Perfect. Literally, that's all you need to do. If you want to get bonus points and you built great rapport with them. For instance, I live in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. Anytime anybody wants to visit Colombia, maybe they live here, maybe they're coming back in the future, I always add them on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. So this would be huge. Oh, by the way, man, I'm going to look you up on Instagram so we can keep connecting. Obviously, you're not going to do this with everybody. There's some older people you're going to do this with, or even younger people that you're not going to connect with as much. But if you can, do this right here. Okay? A couple hours later, a couple hours of the original call, you're going to create a message for yourself to remember to text them personally. So we took the call here at 3 p.m., right? So I'm gonna put right here at 6 p.m. It's gonna say text Keen. Okay, text Kene. And what I mean by that is that I'm gonna go out of my way. I'm gonna go to my high level and I'm gonna text him, thanking him for his time. And I look forward to our call tomorrow, and like an emoji, smiley face, thumbs up, whatever the case is. I just want to make sure that he knows that I care more than other people. I'm already following up with him. We already agreed on a time. We already spent an hour together. I'm now going out of my way to text him. Now, bonus points, again, if you can send them a video or a voice. And this is obviously you can only do this through iPhone and I think also through Androids. But if you're able to text them through their iPhone, which I'll show you what the text messages should look like, you should also 100% do this. When I was focusing on closing, and that was the only thing I cared for before building this company, this is what I was doing. I only had to care about what are my appointments, who am I closing, who's in my follow-up, who do I need to touch base with, so on and so forth, right? But now that I have a company, we have over 20 team members, we're hiring people on a regular basis, I care a lot more about the service as well. Not that before I didn't, that was not my focus. So if you're watching this and you're a CEO, for instance, and you want to learn more about, and you want to start implementing and getting more sales, this is something that I would do 100%, even if it's not your pure focus. Because when you can implement this, your team will implement this. Remember, everything that you do that it goes above and beyond, if you put that as an SOP and you put that as a standard, when you hire someone, they need to do this. If they don't do that, whatever you added, that's not the standard. They're not a good fit. Keep that in mind. Okay. Then consistently follow up creatively, text, memes, voice messages. So I'm going to break that down a little bit here. Think of a client that you can put in a group chat to make sure this is a huge thing, right? So some of you guys have already results with your agency or e-com or whatever. If you have someone you can connect them with and create another group chat, man, that's another touch point now. Now you have another touch point. You have another person that can have your back and answer their questions. A lot of times, I wouldn't say a lot of times, but when you're new, a lot of times that is a frequent thing they want to hear. When you've been doing the business as long as we've been doing this for, over 3 years now, we've hired 1,000 people. We hear that maybe once or twice a quarter. For whatever reason, usually they got burnt out or, other things happen. So, okay, let's move into, let's move into here. So positive sales calls / conversations. So 1 to 2 hours of the call, like I said, you want to thank them for the time. If you're ever managing me up, the proposal was sent. Did you get it? So this is actually a huge tip right here for you guys, right? If they call in well and they are expecting a proposal, you want to make sure they got it. So you always want to end whatever message you send them with a question. So not thanks for your time, talk to you later. It's thank you for your time. If you're managing, hit me up, right? If you built a great connection with them, maybe you didn't. Maybe they have no interest. Thank you for your time earlier. The proposal was sent to your email. Did you get it? I sent you a Slack invitation to join a Slack. Did you get it? Right? I love one thing that I love doing. This is a side note. I love taking the first steps of onboarding someone before they even pay. And what it is I add them on Slack and introducing my team, and I make sure that they are inside of Slack so my team can start bombarding them as well. Now, only do this with people that you're for sure knowing that they're going to join. Otherwise, you're going to just have a bunch of Slack people on there that waste space. Awesome. Great. Looking forward to reconnecting on Thursday, right? So this is if they respond. You hope that they respond with this. If they don't, you can follow up. Hey, first name, let me know, did you get the proposal I sent over? And then they usually will tell you yes. They didn't. That doesn't mean that they agree. That doesn't mean they're going to pay. That doesn't mean they're going to join. All you want here is just a yes. If they don't say yes, follow up. Hey, just following up. Did you get it? Just want to make sure you got it. Eye emojis, eyes. Hey, Tim, let me know if you got it. Just, want to make sure you, literally, I would follow up with them a couple times, at least 2 or 3 times to make sure they got the text. Maybe they're not receiving a text message. Okay. Takes us to the next level. 95% of sales reps never do this because they fear of being judged or feeling like they are doing too much. LOL. You're asking them for tons of thousands of dollars, which is hilarious to me. So most people don't send, like I said, a video or a voice recording covering the same topics as above, everything that I've mentioned, right? This is what you want to become the elite. This is what the top 1% are doing. I promise you, they're not just only closing people on the call, which for sure they're doing, but they're also elite when it comes to follow-up, elite at being able to have a control of their entire pipeline, elite when it comes to doing what it takes to go above and beyond for the client so they know that they're not just here to close them, but they show them how much they care about them joining and actually getting them fulfilled and so on and so forth for whatever service you guys have. Where do most people lose the follow-up? So they wait for the follow-up to touch base. So let's say, like I mentioned here, you say you don't do what I just said and you just move Kane here. You haven't said anything to him since you took the call at, say, 3 p.m. So it's been basically half of Friday, and now it's been half of Saturday, and you haven't said anything to him, and you wait for here. Most people literally wait. They just wait. They think that this person's going to show up. That's crazy. You want to have some sort of conversation with him throughout the time that they are waiting for the call. Literally, they do nothing but wait. Waiters work in restaurants. You guys know this, right? If you wait, you're a waiter. Do not be a waiter, please. Unless you want to be a waiter, which is cool. Give up after not getting a hold of someone. literally they just give up. They text a couple times, they called a couple times, and they just give up. That's crazy. Again, I'm talking about the perfect, I can scroll up. I'm talking about the perfect sales call. You build rapport with them. It's exactly your avatar. Why would you give up on someone like that? That's crazy. Now, if it's someone that's not exactly matching, they're not doing so good financially, maybe it's a different niche, and you're kind of questioning that, still follow up, but you don't have to be nearly as aggressive as you do with people that are again, the perfect, when you took the quote unquote perfect sales call. Keep in mind, most sales calls are not perfect or anywhere near perfection. So something to keep in mind. They also do not send reminders, updates, client CRM. They do nothing. They do nothing else. They just move the person. First of all, most people don't even do this, the follow up. That's number one. They don't do the text. They don't do anything else. They don't update their CRM. They just kind of leave it to the next call and they think that the person's going to hit them up. That's crazy. And I experienced this because I've taken a bunch of sales calls with other companies for coaching, consulting, whatever the case is. And I'm like, dude, these guys don't follow up. That's crazy. All right. How to notice if a client is sold on you. So if the client communicates with you during the period of follow-up, this right here is huge. If they are literally texting you back and forth, maybe they have questions, maybe they have concerns, they're saying something in between the period after you pitch them and the follow-up call, they're pretty interested. Their intent is higher than usual. Most salespeople stop messaging and stop calling and take it personally. Literally just stop taking them personally. I'll add a couple more bullet points here actually. Do your best at sending messages memes. So we'll do this for another section. So I notice the client is sold on you. Ask questions about whatever it is after the sales call. Ask for more resources or connections. Overall, communicating after the sales call. That's all you guys care for is can they talk after the sales call, right? Most sales people stop messaging and stop calling. Do your best at sending memes, gifts. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. You want to sound as least salesy as possible. It's a little bit difficult. You're a salesperson. I get it, but there's a way where you can sound much more relatable. Okay, when they're not responding to you, right? You want to assume that the worst case happened to them. They got in a car wreck, divorce, death, tree fell on their house. Literally the worst tsunami. They got stuck in a third world country. Whatever the hell. Because if you have that mindset, you're going to be checking in on them. You're going to go from salesperson that's trying to close them to a person that is aware of their situation and is checking in on them. Almost like a friend. Who checks in on you when something is going bad? Probably a friend, not someone that's trying to sell you something. And that's when you do that, you're building a level of trust that, man, a lot of these sales guys can't do. All they care about is the money. All they care about is the close. They don't care about building a relationship. But in reality, the better relationships you have, the more referrals you're going to get, the easier your clients are going to come through. Everything becomes much easier. So it's like a cause and effect type of thing. It's almost like the domino effect. You care about your clients. You take care of them. They're going to send you referrals. They're going to give you testimonials. Okay. When you take outside the CRM, iMessage performed. So what most people do is disgusting. This is actually funny. So one of the biggest tricks I have, guys, is using my phone as my tool to close more people. Most of this, everything I've said so far, we use it through the CRM. We use high level. I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching this use high level. But when they go to the iMessage, right, and they text this person, what most people do is they send the prospect name. Hey, this is John from Remolatinos. We spoke earlier today. You told me you want this, blah, 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 blah. They're literally throwing up on the client. Instead, there's a specific way to text them. And I'm going to come back to this in a minute because one of the things you want to figure out is the preferred messaging platform. Some clients, you'll notice, they're much better on email than iMessage. Some of them, they're better on social media, if you added them on social media. Some of them, like I mentioned, are better on email, right? You want to figure out how you can get a hold of them. That's all you care about, right? So now, immediately switch to this. The first message I send from my iMessage when I try to get a hold of someone is first name ? So John, Sam, Steve, just to get a response, right? And usually they say, hey, so who is this? And then I tell them a little bit about us and wanted to stay in touch. If you ever imagine, I sent over everything. Again, did you get it, right? You want to make sure they got it. This is if they ghost you when I mentioned earlier here, you were not able to get a hold of them after a couple times you try to reach out to them. They haven't said anything to you on high level. Okay, now you take it here. Now you take it to a little bit outside of high level and you're actually providing them a little bit, showing them that, hey man, I'm literally texting you from my personal number. I don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I care. I'm doing this because, yes, I want to close you, but also I want to over deliver on our service. So usually they respond here, right? Please do not take it responsibly if they do not respond. Do not take it personally if they respond and then they don't respond to you again. Assume the worst case always. I love inserting the eyeball emoji. That's a really good one for me. The next day, hey brother, man, again, depending on the age of this person or the connection you had, could be, hey, first name again. We'll give you a call tomorrow at 3 p.m. Let me know if you have any questions specific. Bring up the objection. So whatever objection they had, they're looking at a company, they're talking to their wife, bring that up, right? And you want to make sure, so here, want to end this, right, with a question. Did you ever talk to your wife? Have you had a chance to talk with the other company? Did you do X? Did you do Y? You want to leave this off with a question, especially if they're already responding to you, right? They say yes, awesome, I got it, great. Or then the next day you're going to send something like this. If not, right, if they don't respond to you here, I don't know if I have this here. I like to send them the hey first name last name. Hey, is this first name last name? So first it's hey first name. I'll wait a couple hours. No, hey first name. Hey, is this first name last name? 9 out of 10 people respond to either of those. And if they don't, then I start messing with them. I'm like, I guess this is not this person. And I'll take a screenshot of the booked appointment with their number, with their email, and send it to them. And I'll be like, hey, this is Omer. I just, you haven't responded to anything. I just want to see, is everything okay? You'll see how I talk about this a little bit later on here. All right. So now that you're in a follow-up mode, do not wait until the call to touch base. Please. 24 to 48 hours, and then the plethora of following up, right? So confirm the call and confirm they will be there. Bring up a testimonial or a result or something similar story, something that maybe similar state, similar area, similar industry that you're working with. Give them something to live off of, right? That's something that'll bring it up for them. Bring up something you brought up in their report, right? They're moving to a new house. They're sending their kid to college. They're going traveling. Bring something up that goes beyond the salesmanship. That shows that you don't just care about them as a client. You care about them as a human. And again, cover any objections they had, right? So maybe they had specific, maybe you need to negotiate with them. Maybe they need to speak to someone, whatever objection that was. If you're able to bring these up in a strategic way, it'll help the communication so much easier and so much better. So first-time ghosters, I like to triple dials. So I triple dial. People double dial, I'll triple dial. And I get people usually calling me. I text, hey, first name, is everything okay? This is a really important part, right? And you only text this when they actually respond to you at some point, whether they said, yes, who's this? Or, and you can say, hey, man, just, I wanted to see if you got the proposal I sent over. You mentioned that you were going to take a look at it, right? And then later, if they don't respond, hey, Jeff, just checking in. Is everything okay? I wanted to make sure you got everything. Like, this is checking in. This is like, I love this question. Is everything okay? Right? Just a call, just wanted to check in and make sure you're all right. Please let me know when you can, right? So you want to leave this here, but also you can also reconfirm that, hey, we're just here to help you out. Some of the stuff that you want to do is there's a lot of memes and GIFs that you could send them when it comes to following with text. So like literally if you look up funny sales memes, look at this. When your sales go hundreds of $1 billion, funny sales follow up memes. Let's do that. Not sure if 100 follow-ups attempts is too much or if I should keep trying. That's a funny one. You'll get some people to respond to that. Don't know who you are, but would you like to buy a car? I don't know if that's relevant, but you guys can really take this. Did not get my email, asking whether you got my email. Did you get my email? Asking whether you got my email. This is a funny one, right? You want to take these and kind of throw them in there, right? It should not just be text. It should be text, emojis, text, meme. Right? And you can kind of break it down. It could be text, emoji, text, meme. Mix it up a little bit, right? But one of the most important things I'm telling you guys here is do not take it personal. Do not take it personal, right? People are busy. They have shit to do. You want to find out whether they're going to do this or not. And if they don't do this, you want to find out why. If they do this, awesome. How do we get started? I don't want to waste time. I don't want to take this time away from the sales call. Yes, please. Try to close people on the sales call. That way you can avoid this. But, most of the people you're not going to close on the sales call. So you need to use a lot of this. So keep these things in mind. Urgency, creativity, thinking outside the box. Make it funny and overall make it fun, not stressful. Do not call on the weekends if they plant seeds about family vacation. This is huge. Do call on weekends if you are savage and it was a perfect sales call and you did everything right. And I would say instead of calling, you can also text, right? But if you want to go above and beyond, again, read the room. The person has a family. Kids are playing in the tournament, don't call them. Do not call. You're going to lose. This is the fastest way to lose a relationship. But if they're free on the weekends, whether they have family or not, maybe they're working. Yeah, I got some I'm gonna get some work. I'm gonna talk to my partner on the weekends. Dude, give them a call, give them a text. I like to text people first and then give them a call when it comes to follow up. When it's new leads, I like to call first and then text. So something to keep in mind. Things to do after the call. So again, share your screen, make sure they accept it. 1 to 2 hours, send them a message. Send a video or voice. Man, if you guys can do this through your iMessage, that's going to be a fucking game changer for a lot of you guys. Consistently follow up, do creatively, text, meme, voice message, text, GIF, right? Get some sort of response from them. You can also bait them into be like, hey man, like we have a call booked tomorrow. I haven't heard back from you after a few messages. I have 45 minutes I have 30 minutes committed to this. Are you able to make it? And I promise you, if you make people feel bad that they're going to waste your time, they're going to tell you, hey, man, like, let's move this. Hey, man, I'm not ready. Hey, dude, let's do it. Sorry, I've been super busy. You just want a response. Do everything you can to get a response. You are not texting a girl. If you were texting a girl, it's funny because sales and getting a sale with business and getting a sale with women, it's so alike. With here, you could be super aggressive. But with a girl, you never want to do this, right? You don't want to bombard her and send a text and memes and get some desperate. Here, you want to find the level of where it's desperate, right? Because there's a level where you're coming off desperate and the level where you're doing everything and you're going above and beyond. So you want to find the intermediate of I'm going above and beyond, but I'm not being desperate. You don't want to be desperate. No one ever built a business desperately to the numbers they want to get to. In the beginning, sure, you get a first few sales, but after that, you don't want to be desperate. If you're always desperate for a sale, you're doing something wrong, right? So find where it's a desperate line and call them out. Do not feel bad that you're calling them out. If you have 30 minutes, 45 minutes committed to them the next day, the next week, and they're not responding to you or to your appointment setter, by the way, a lot of this is also for your appointment setters, then they need to remove this call and move on to someone else, right? And then I would put this person into reactivation and send them a bi-weekly / monthly email, reactivation email or recommission text, right? Do not, even if it's a perfect call, don't let this person waste your time. Don't let this person take away your energy. Like you're already going to do a lot of that, but don't let that kill your ambition, right? Move on to the next person. Do everything you can to try to get a hold of them. That's your key point here. Get a hold of them, get a response from them, see where they're at, and do not just let a non-answer fly by. And also, do not take anything personal because it's not personal. They do not know who the hell you are, no matter how much time you spend with them. Even if it's an hour, you probably spend 40 minutes talking about the business and their business and 20 minutes talking about them personally. You still don't know who the hell they are. You can have an idea, but until you meet them in person, hang out, get to know their friends, their family, you don't really know who the hell this person is. So never take it personally. It's never personal. It's always business, right? Think of a client that you can put in a group chat to make sure you can help. Yeah, this is a really big bonus. Sometimes your clients are going to ask, sometimes your prospects are going to ask for this, but other times you should just do this. Question to ask yourself: is this person worthy of my follow-up 9,000, or am I just wanting the commission / being desperate? That's what I'll say. Is he worthy? This is a really good question. Is this person worthy? Yes, great. Keep it going and follow up with them. If they don't respond and then you delete the booking because they haven't responded to you in a few days, you've sent them memes, gifts, voice message, try to call them, right? Even on the day off, if they have not responded, I'd still call them. I'd still call them at some point. Just get a hold of them. Maybe they're better on the phone than they are on texting. Remember, some people, they're a little older. Maybe they don't use texting. Doesn't matter their age. Still try to get a hold of them. And then I would just put them in the follow-up, and then I would try to get a hold of them in the future. Right? And come back to them. Something that I love to do is on holidays, I love to text people that are on my phone list for follow-up. So I do this on Christmas. I do this on New Year's. I've done this on Easter. I've done it on, what's another major holiday? Thanksgiving. Those are like the 4 holidays you can like follow up with people. Now, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's are very together. So maybe you can mark it on your calendar to follow up XYZ. Make sure that you're tracking all the people that you have on follow-up. We have a specific pipeline on Go High Level where we follow up with specific people that we needed to follow up with. So that's something else to think about. Again, after a sales call, you want to make sure you're texting them from your private number. If you're not getting a hold of them through the CRM, do this. If you are and you're communicating through the CRM, you don't need to use your iPhone. Then it becomes redundant and you're overdoing it. You're using your iPhone if you cannot get a hold of them. That's the biggest thing. And most people are not doing that. It's crazy. I've closed literally millions of dollars just from my iPhone because other sales guys are not doing that. And they're calling from the CRM. It's automated. Everything's automated. It doesn't feel real. It feels like it's worthy. It's my name. Da, 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 da. And then this is basically the messages you want to go through. So let's say they booked a follow-up call. Shoot them a text in the morning. boom, boom, boom. You want to make sure they got it. Ended with a question, like always. If they are ghosting, I will call them from a different number. So if you try to call them from here, if you try to call them from high level, use an app called Text. Now you can download it from the App Store, and it'll give you a brand new number right here. I talk about this, and you'll get another number. You try to call them. Try to call them different times. So if you try to call them in the morning, in the early afternoons, try to call them later in the afternoon, maybe early in the evening. Try to get a hold of them. I promise you, they're gonna answer someone at some point. Move the calendar spot to the next available. Always try to follow up book the follow up within 24 hours. But sometimes they're going on vacation. They have shit to do. Whenever you can, the more time that you have to wait between the sales call and the follow up, the more communication you should have in between the time, right? If it's tomorrow, I'll just send a message. Hey, did you get it? The proposal? Awesome. And then I won't bother them again. But if it's like 5 days from now, hey, I will make sure that they got this. Then I will go over up to whatever objection they had, go over making sure that they talk to whoever they need to talk to, and make sure that we're still on. And then maybe send them a GIF or meme, and then just all good. But I'll do that throughout like 3 days. Make sure that it's not all done and within 1 day, so that way there's another 3 days that they didn't talk to me about. Whatever it is. Move the calendar to the next spot available. Like I said, move the call to the next business day, the same email, same time. So yes, this is where I start getting strategic. What I do is I move the person on the calendar. First, like 3 to 4 times, I send them the invitation every time, so they know I'm going to be calling them. I'm not trying to surprise them. After, I'm going to play around. I'm just going to remind myself. I'll create a manual event, no number, no email, or maybe I'll put the number but no email, no invitation. It's just a reminder for me to call them, and I'll also make sure that's on my high level where I can see, boom, call these people urgently, call these people next week, call these people in 2 weeks, so on and so forth. If you still do not get a hold of them, check-in mindset. Make sure they're okay, right? Like I said, hey, is everything okay? Hey, I haven't heard from you. Just wanted to check in. Get creative, memes, GIFs, funny videos, whatever you build rapport with them on. And most importantly, stay consistent. Most people are not consistent. Most people are not good at follow-up at all. And if you just do some of what I just said, I gave you guys like literally a lot. If you just do some of what I said, you're gonna close more deals from follow-up 100%. From the new number, is this first name, last name? Hey, is this? You see how I say, hey, is this first name, last name? Call me back. I have a quick question. I love this. Hey, is this first name, last name? Hey, first name, last name, give me a call back. Especially when you send this from an iPhone, it's like, do I know this person? Is this a prospect for me? A lot of times they think it's prospects for them. We work with a lot of investors, so they think I'm like a home seller, which is funny. If possible, get the same area code. Yes, this is, again, another bonus, not necessary, but it would be huge to get if you can. But remember, do not become emotional. Please don't take it personally. Don't make them, don't feel them out and make them feel bad for you, but don't become emotional. Like, you want them to feel bad for you that you're reaching out this much and that they're not getting a hold of you, rather than they think that this guy's desperate, this guy is overdoing it, this guy has not read the room whatsoever. You have to be very self-aware when it comes to sales. Every single week, go back into your calendar, move people who are not dead leads to your upcoming schedule. So this is something that we do with my team, is that I look back, for instance, today is May 11th. I look back into early May, late April, and I'll look into leads with my closer. I'm like, what's happening with this person? Why are they still on your calendar from April? Oh man, I'll move them here. And we'll do this every week just to move people, especially when maybe ads are not working as much, maybe marketing is a little bit slower. Whatever it is, we do this because I get to actually give him a little bit more calls, and he sometimes forgets, not his fault. He's taking the time of sales calls, he's taking notes, he has to close people, make sure they're onboarded, a lot of stuff that he's doing. Majority of it is sales. So sometimes he forgets to move people when they should be moved because he forgot about them because they were on his calendar a couple weeks ago, or on high level, they're at the bottom now of the follow-up list and he forgets to call them, right? So what's super important is to move them, make sure you make it available so other people can book with you, and then just move it, if it's during lunch, if you can give them a call real quick, or at the end of the day, maybe at the beginning of the day. Know when they're, obviously, what time zone they're in, so you're not calling someone at 5 in the morning. If they do not say stop, if they do not say fuck you, stop, or they want to sue you, never stop calling. That's my idea. Again, this is the perfect person that you want to work with. You're not doing this with everybody. When it's the perfect person, do not stop calling them. How you buy things reflects on how you sell things. So do you have a hard time closing deals? Ask yourself that. If you have a hard time closing deals, do you have a hard time investing in yourself? This is a whole different topic for another conversation, but I hope you guys found this valuable, and see you on the next video.